Welcome back to Being Guillén, Ozzie Guillén Jr., Ozzie Guillén Sr., Oney Guillén. Welcome back. Packed week. It's a stressful week.
I thought it was Juan Valdez from the Mexican place with the hat.
What was the guy that signed Fernando Valenzuela?
Well, yeah, one of those scouts.
It looks like a scout. The movie The Scout. Actually, talking about movies, it's been a great week back in the game of baseball. We're going to jump right into this thing because it's trade deadlines, so much actions. Let's do this. I'm too tired for doing it for the gram. Social media was nuts last week. You guys can Google it. We went viral. It was crazy. So no doing it for the gram this week. But we're going to have a new one. Stat of the week. Rodolfo Castro. Yes, since 1901, it has not been done, actually, a very long time ago. Actually, a time when Dominicans were not even allowed to play the game of baseball in the big leagues. 5 home runs in his first 5 at-bats in the big leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This second baseman, how hard is it to hit 5 hits in the big leagues for your batsman? Now, this guy's hit 5 home runs.
Well, nearly impossible. I just hope that, anytime the Pirates are in the news, it's great because the franchise has been struggling for a little bit. But, hitting 5 home runs is very, very tough. I just hope that the Pirates don't think that this guy's going to keep up that pace or that production because, he's going to burn out. But great story. It's a feel-good story. Hopefully he can keep it up. But anyone at that pace, knocking out home runs at that rate, not even, Sammy in his heyday could do that. So congrats to him and congrats to the team.
It's not easy to get hits. How about home runs? That's, something.
So I was thinking about this. If I'm the pitcher and I'm facing him,
I'm laying it in.
I'm laying it in saying, let's see what you can do, Mr. Rodolfo Castro. Again, we're going to still follow him. Was the player that was $1 picked in most fantasy teams. His numbers were going through the roof gambling-wise because, again, we're facing history.
Probably his props are were plus like 7,000.
And people are betting him and making a lot of money on him. Again, 5 at-bats. And, again, he's getting outs in between at-bats. It's every time he puts the ball in play,
he's a bomb.
It's bomb.
So basically, you know what? He's falling into the trap of now that's what they pay for in baseball now, right? So when you make contact, kind of like Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
If you're going to put the ball in play, make sure it's a double or a home run. Otherwise, they say it's a non-productive, out. So
it happens. So what would Ozzie do? This is a part of the show where Ozzie Guillén gives us his insights as a manager, former player, and Oney agrees or disagrees because, again, trade deadline is a time when teams could be up or teams could be down. The most outrageous situation as of today, in my opinion, is the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are actually 1 game away fighting in the wild card. They're actually above the New York Yankees. Yet, the general manager, a former player, by the way, traded their best reliever to a team in the division later to make a move for another reliever. So, again, how do you deal with that as a manager when you think that you're in the fight, that you're in it, you only made the playoffs 4 times in your franchise, you're actually in the fight to actually make a playoff, and here comes your general manager without telling anyone, and the move that you're expecting is to take a piece away?
It's kind of hard because, in my opinion, in my size, I never say anything to front office. They ask me, we'll tell them what I need or what we should do. And meanwhile, they not always do what the manager asked them to do. Why? It's trades. It's not easy. If people think like, oh, we're going to trade that guy. Give me that guy. I'll give you that guy. No, it's about everything. Health, salary, years, what I want, who know what I want. It's not easy thing to people think and say, why did you not do this? Why? In 2005, Kenny Williams told me we got to be stronger. I said, yes. How? When you're in first place, you figure out, oh, we need this, we need that. And I picked Blum. And Kenny thought I was crazy. A backup player, I explained to him, I said, why I bring Blum? Why? Because I need Cornelco get a day off. I need Iguchi to get a day off. I need my third baseman, Joe Creedy, get a day off. He can play shortstop. Then I need those guys to survive in that moment. To go to that place. And people criticize the crap out of Kenny Williams. And you know what? Who was our hero?
Yeah.
Blum. Sometimes you bring people to satisfy the fans. Sometimes you bring people to satisfy the media. but bring the right guy in that moment.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes things don't work out, and sometimes they do. I'm sure we'll hit that later on in the show. But what's going on in Seattle right now, only he can answer, because they get rid of their best guy, but now they get a guy in Luis Castillo to be a reliever, I believe, from Tampa. So only he probably has his reasons. Only they would know what's going on. Only the Seattle people know what's going on. But they're in it. You know what? It's very surprising to see these moves, because you see the Yankees and you see Seattle. They're only 3 or 4 games out of the wild card. Atlanta is only 4 or 5. They're tied with the Mets. So teams that are 3 or 4 games out of the race, they feel like they have a chance. I believe that the reason that these teams are making moves is to protect themselves and say, hey, we're actually trying, whether that be the Yankees or somebody else.
That's easy. I'm sorry. Yesterday, the last place people thought the White Sox were going to make a move, it was Cleveland Indians.
The Guardians.
They never. Oh, well.
I'm saying.
The Cleveland Guardians.
Next year, I remember the name.
I think we'll be
They're
making
still
a
the
mistake.
Indians.
And I will forget. You have been 3 years from now, the Guardians. Okay, because first of all, Guardian is in the, to me, my very broke English. Okay, never thought they're going to make a trade with Cleveland. And we never thought the White Sox were going to make a trade with the Cubs. Why? City rivals, division rivals. All of a sudden, Rick Hahn bring up this thing. Like, we never talked about it.
Well, I'm not so much about Rick Hahn, because Rick Hahn obviously can put his
whatever it is.
I'm saying the Cleveland team. I think teams are more open now, and it tells you where Cleveland might think that they're at next year.
Okay, wait a minute.
We might not need this guy.
They come to play. They got
this week?
4-game series, and it's the White Sox. They have another 4-game series at the White Sox.
Yeah.
You never thought the White Sox playing very poorly.
Basically,
very bad.
Basically,
and you can sweep them and sweep them back.
If you sweep them twice, you're
but that's the mentality. I think he wants to build the pitcher.
So I believe that.
By the way, the pitchers of Cleveland, they're coming back.
Yeah, they were hauled. They've been hurt. Their top 3 guys.
Now they're coming back.
They've been hurt.
Then, that's a white flag.
Yeah, basically what they're trying to say is that it seems like kind of Cleveland, in a way, you get rid of your everyday second baseman who has 18 home runs and switch hitter, plays everyday second. They must feel like they have somebody there that could plug it in, but he makes $6 million. They're kind of throwing in the towel because they have a lot of games left. 8 games or 9 games. It's not that much if you sweep a series.
So you sweep a series. So the part that's interesting though is because when general managers are making moves for the future, meaning I'm going to give up an asset to get someone in return, I think they might think if Madrigal comes back, they're not going to pick up his option for Cesar Hernandez. We might be able to sign Cesar Hernandez as a free agent, just like the Cubs did with Chapman, and we'll talk about that later. I think that they're seeing we can bring up a second baseman that can help us kind of fight this out, and we're going to get the arm that we want. That's the situation.
Yeah, because they also got Tepera from the Cubs.
That's the biggest move they have to me.
Oh yeah,
because they can cover second base. But the offense is so bad right now, like poorly.
Cesar's not going to fix all their problems. So here's a part though. Tepera was the broke version of Daniel Hudson and other hands, but they went and got a bullpen help. The next team that I think is here, the most interesting team is Rizzo's on his way to New York. He's got to have to sign the paper.
How about Boston?
It's the Red Sox.
No, it's confirmed. He's going to the Yankees.
The Cubs are the other team that it's a fire sale. But the part that is interesting is this. If I am sitting in the GM office, okay, you can rebuild and completely destroy it and take you 5, 6, 10 years to rebuild. Or everybody, I should be looking at, if I'm the general manager, how Boston did it. Boston gets rid of a couple guys. They lose during the pandemic season, and they're back in it. So I think the Cubs, even though they kind of flirted this year,
but you don't have
the money.
Not only that, Boston had the pieces of Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers.
No,
their nucleus was there. I don't think the Cubs are going to have that. The Cubs just got rid of Anthony Rizzo. The city of Chicago today is in mourning. They love Anthony Rizzo. Was probably the most beloved Cub on that team, not only because everything that he went through with the cancer, he delivered a world championship ring, and he's the captain of that team. He's going to New York. New York is making moves with Gallo, like we talked about. Brian Cashman's trying to protect his behind, and Aaron Boone If they're trying, because if they don't get it
If
done,
they don't get
it done, someone's getting fired.
Gallo.
And no, because the two lefties are going there.
I think Luke Voigt gets traded.
Now you have Chris Bryant. There was a video of him earlier yesterday. He's looking into Wrigley Field, kind of with the shades on. He knows, like, this is it.
I think Boston.
I believe that Chris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell will be out of the Cubs uniform before the deadline's over. And Javier Baez is now speaking on where I would like to play with Francisco Lindor next year. I mean, they have a lot of pieces going on. Obviously, Lindor's with the Mets.
In Puerto Rico?
With the Mets. So I think the Cubs have a lot of issues to face, but now with them doing this, it's fire sale. But it's done. The Cubs are doing the right thing. The end of an era. Thank you, Anthony Rizzo. Chicago will forever be grateful, but this is it.
I don't think any of those guys, maybe Bryant, maybe Rizzo, I think that they're making the right move. You won one World Series in 100 years. You could go up a couple more years without winning one. All these guys are asking for 150, 200 million. They've all turned down money.
Remember, they tried to sign Rizzo to a deal. He turned the deal down. So all these guys, again, Baez can go play with the Mets. He can go there as a trade, and then the next year sign for $1 million. Yeah. You'll be Lindor's roommate. Well, he said that the only guy that he would move to second base for would be Francisco Lindor.
Okay, good to know.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's that good?
Yeah.
Okay, no. It's just marketing. It's marketing. Who is the shortstop for San Diego Padres?
Fernando Tatis.
It's San Diego Padres say, we're going to sign you. You're moved to second base. No, I only move for Lindor. He's on marketing. Money maker. No.
He thinks he's a $200 million man.
Okay,
we're going to jump off of him. But he thinks he's a $200 million man.
By the way, I swear to God, I love the energy, everything bring to it. I'm not in love the way he played. I don't. It's a great shortstop. I love the way, I think to me it's more electric player.
He's an electric player.
In baseball, is I going to pay somebody to watch him, the shortstop from Tatis. That's it. Is I going to pay because it's so electric. It's
Listen,
so
I don't remember a time that the hot stove has been this heated. The Brewers got Eduardo Escobar. There's teams that are going for it. First place teams getting. There's Scherzer going to the Padres, and the Dodgers are trying to get him too. There's a lot of things going on that there's a lot of pieces moving. Not many guys have the power of Scherzer to say, I'm not going there.
Well, they don't have no trade clause. So it gives you a point of people are talking about in the Nationals. Again, it gets to the next one. Juan Soto all alone. Okay, the Nationals are 2 years removed from winning a World Series. And it comes to a time when you are the best player and you're not signed to a long-term contract, that they will keep him. They will keep him and they will build around him. They will try to extend him to a long, long time and build players around him. How do you handle a situation where a guy like Juan Soto, it could have happened to you in the 80s when you're with the White Sox, of when everyone around you is traded and you're kind of left like the only superstar on that team? How do you stay motivated and say, you know what, I gotta play every day and I gotta make sure this team, we build the right way around me?
You can create a loser mentality, I'll be a loser, or you can create like, you know what, I'm going to do my best for my career and my family. And in the end of the day,
it's still a job.
This is a job. And in the end of the day, I lose friends, not just good players.
I have a question. I have a question because you're an emotional guy. Were you the guy that cried when your teammates got traded?
No.
You never cried for any of your teammates?
One guy.
Who?
Harold Baines.
Which time?
Wait, how many times?
How many times?
No.
Harold Baines. Okay.
I knew it. Look. No. When they trade, I was sad when they trade Harold Baines.
Which time?
I was mad when they trade Roberto Hernandez.
Well, because you guys were
he's my drinking partner, my friend.
Let's explain to people. People that watch your show, explain to them. Roberto Hernandez gets traded. You guys were the Mariners. You guys he traded the white flag
to San Francisco.
1997.
1997.
I don't know what year it was. I was sad.
I'll explain it. Famous white flag trade. The Sox and Mr. Reinsdorf made a move, a business move.
Ron Schuler
made a business move to trade Wilson Alvarez, Roberto Hernandez, and Danny Darwin.
Oh my God.
Danny Darwin.
You're the second guy told me today.
And
they were
3 games. It was a business move. They were 3 games out of the playoffs. some people say, oh, they're not as good as the Indians, whatever. But if you're
they might have won the wild card now.
If you're 3 games out, you think you'd get with a lot of games left. You think you're going to give the guys a shot. They make the trade. Wilson and Hernandez and Darwin go to the playoffs in San Francisco. The White Sox aren't heard of again until 2001. 2001. So a lot of these trades have effects. Ozzie loses his drinking partner.
So you were fans that
the fans.
I remember Harold Bain trade to San Francisco. It was in California.
No, you didn't.
So I'm sorry.
Roberto Hernandez.
Texas.
Harold got traded to Texas.
And we dropped. I don't drive. Hermie Snyder, Harold Baines, and Ozzie Guillén, and Fred Manrique drive then to the airport.
Oh, because Fred Manrique's in that trade.
Yeah, to play with another team.
But it worked out, though. Wilson Alvarez came over.
Yes.
And Scott Fletcher, I think.
To me, I don't care about it.
But you went to the playoffs.
By the way, that trade made me more money because I was competing with Scott Fletcher with shortstop. Now it's my second base. Then whatever Carrie can make, I will make less. But
so you didn't cry though.
Listen,
you were there.
Yes, I did.
You cried with
Harold? No. With Harold Bain, yes, I did.
Trades.
When I say bye to him.
Trades.
When I say bye to him in
trades happen.
What's the guy? He was. Wait a minute. What's the guy who was famous? Jane Wayne? No.
John Wayne?
John Wayne?
Clint Eastwood?
No, the airport. No,
John Wayne Airport.
Yes.
Is that it? That's in California, right?
I don't know what it was. John Wayne Airport. When this man left,
wait, he didn't send him in private plane. They flew him for commercial.
No, yes,
horrible times.
Commercial. When the guy left, I was sitting next to Hermie Snyder, and I was proud. I was crying. I was lost. But when the game started, you know what?
And the following week, a couple weeks later, I think they retired his number.
Yeah, they give clubs.
When someone loses their job at work, it's part of the deal. It happens. Just like we're working here, and the people behind the camera are working. Anybody can get fired any day. At least they're not fired. They're going to play baseball. They're traded.
Either they get traded, then get sent down.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got traded. Yeah, you just got traded. Anthony Rizzo, you got traded to the New York Yankees. 3 games out.
No, wait a minute.
Eduardo Escobar.
He got traded?
He got traded. Eduardo Escobar.
Today?
Today.
Yesterday.
Today. He got traded to Milwaukee Brewers. You were in last place. Like, it's sometimes the trades can really suck for guys.
Wait, hold on.
Then sometimes you could really be like, man, this is awesome. I'm in the pennant race. I'm sure Craig Kimbrough wouldn't mind going back to Boston.
I'm saying people don't understand this.
It doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, you went from the
Baltimore. I was released.
And then he got to the Braves.
Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
All that song, I got released. I go to
but that's really so trade-wise. You were never traded, which is really actually the only time you were traded. The only time you were traded, actually, you had a no trade clause. The only time you were traded
as a manager.
You got traded for 2 guys. You got traded as a manager. You and Lou Piniella. They said, let's trade this guy. I bet the trade started with Stanton and ended up with 2 guys. Actually, the other guy's name was Ozzie. So the part that's interesting, though, is trade deadlines, okay? I think it's awesome because it's like a vacation in the middle of your work year. You're hanging out. Things are not working out. You're like, okay, you go somewhere. You don't even really rent an apartment. You kind of just live in the hotel, and you kind of feel it out. I think it's also a big deal.
Because you only have...
Well, for guys that are getting extended...
August, September, and hopefully you're in October.
So
these guys probably won't even rent a place. They'll just stay in the hotel.
Let's do this. This happens in life, guys. Some people, when they get married, they have great marriages. Some people, when they get married, it ends really, really bad in divorce. And some people have to pay $200,000 to their spouses. You can Google it, see who I'm talking about.
Is that Dr. Dre?
I don't know. Dr. Dre's up there, but I'm just saying, it can end good. Some of these trades we're going to be talking. Some of these trades we're going to be talking about, saying this is the greatest trade of all time. And I'm going to start off with mine because there's trades that go really, really bad. I'm thinking about a couple years ago, Minnesota Twins second baseman when he went to the Dodgers. No.
Brian Dozier?
Not Brian. Dozier. He went to the Dodgers and almost did not. I think he had like 2 hits.
Yeah.
Poor guy couldn't get it. But then there's trades that I think, in my opinion, the most impactful trade ever. And I'm just going to say this because I was in Chicago and it happened the year that the season happened. And I'm not going to say Blummer, okay? Freddie Garcia and Jose Contreras were huge the year before. People think that it was not a big deal. They traded Loaiza for Contreras. They traded Olivo for Freddie Garcia and moves that people thought, what are these moves for? Kenny was thinking about the future. Great moves. But the biggest trade, in my opinion, is in the middle of the season. They went and pulled the trigger for Aroldis Chapman, okay? And gave Joe Madden the ability to ride Chapman all the way to a ring. Without him, there is no World Series ring in the history of the Cubs.
And
the Yankees got
a trade that worked out for both teams. They got
Gleyber Torres, and again, it was a big one. The other one that I kind of think about, he didn't get a World Series ring, but was the Randy Johnson trade.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the Curt Schilling trade from the Phillies to the Arizona
Diamondbacks
was
got him a ring.
He had his best 2 years there. Randy Johnson, when he goes to Houston, he dominated on the stretch. CeCe Sabathia going to Milwaukee, dominated. And Manny Ramirez, when he went to the Dodgers in 2008,
the first time,
was unbelievable. I know all the Red Sox fans were missing him, but he was unbelievable for the Dodgers. He basically single-handedly put the Dodgers on their back. He ran out of steam against Philadelphia. He still did well, but the team, he beats the Cubs in I think it was a sweep. They loses to Philly, but Manny was unbelievable for that team. So these trades can really, really work out. I mean, literally, Scherzer can be in San Diego and not lose a game. And then if he pitches that wild card game,
it's worth it.
And then he beats the Dodgers or whoever they're facing, it's worth it because playoffs means more money. Scherzer's already a Hall of Famer. He already got the Nationals a ring. No one's even – they don't even –
I have a question. You're going to talk about the best one. Ooh, wow.
The worst one?
Except for the San Diego Padres. No, for the San Diego Padres.
Was it the middle of the pennant race?
In the pennant race. To me, to me, you talk about –
This is going to be interesting.
History. Talk about great people. Bond. How you take –
James Bond?
Barry?
Hey, yo. Boom.
Aaron Boone. Brett Boone.
No, the guy we trade from nobody was.
Blummer?
Sorry. Blummer.
Blum.
Well, we call it Blum. I said boom. Blum. People was on our tail end because we trade Blum. Wow, we can do this, we do that. Our general manager say what we need. I don't need anything. We in first place. We fighting. I need somebody. I said about Blum.
Yeah, you need someone that
my general manager, you didn't know who Blum was.
Well, I know what. That reminds me of another trade that we probably should have talked about was years ago. They traded Nomar Garciaparra for Orlando Minkiewicz. They needed really good defense. Nomar has a little decent career in LA. Red Sox win their first World Series.
I did not know that Mark McGwire was traded in the middle of a pennant race to the Cardinals.
And he stayed there for a long time.
So
trades do work.
Trades do work. So people are talking about, trades are no big deal. Trades can,
no big deal.
No,
trades they make. If people think it's trade no big deal, why they have a July?
You know what else?
Deadline.
Also, Fred McGriff,
the best.
David Justice for Atlanta. We can literally have a whole segment of
Roberto Alomar,
the best trades and the worst trades. And we're not gonna get to worst trades because we're not trying to be negative this week. I'm going to keep it positive. But again, even if your team, the prospects that you have, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. The minor league system is there for two things: develop big league players and have guys to build up the big league team. You cannot have guys play multiple positions. So when you have why is this guy getting traded? He was a 26 guy someone's got to get traded. Someone's going to get asked, are you going to overpay? Maybe. Some guys buy the same thing on Amazon.
And if you have a window to win a World Series, take it. You take it.
You take that chance.
That's what I admire. I admire the Padres for actually
the White Sox. Any general manager,
the White Sox. They're saying, we have a chance. We'll deal with Madrigal when he comes back, but we're getting a second baseman, a 31-year-old. If Boston makes a move, they're going for it. They're not staying put. They're trying. That is all that you can ask for. That is all a fan base can ask for. The Oakland Athletics made a move for Marte, an everyday player, an exciting player.
That surprised me.
Yeah, so
because this is people understand. Marte this year can help him more than Luzardo.
Yes.
Maybe in 5 years, different story. But today in the trade deadline, he makes them better.
So don't worry about the prospects.
Everyone's talking about Tatis. Just one thing.
Yeah, they don't want to get
Tatis. Do not get Miguel Cabrera Marlins.
Yeah.
They asked for 5 guys, and Detroit basically 5-7 guys. None of the guys made it. One guy made it to the big leagues. Jacobs for a couple of years.
By the way, I was on in trademark. I was in a circle because the White Sox offer.
I'm sure teams asked for you.
No. It was between Detroit and the White Sox. I know that Nashville. We was in Nashville when it's coming up, and people thought, I thought Miguel would come to White Sox because my friendship.
Yeah. Well, but again, though, trade deadlines is going to happen. But one of my favorite stories of all times. Again, I would love to be. One day, my dream job would have been to be general manager. There's no way to hide that. I would have loved to be a general manager. I run 7 fantasy.
Sleep with Adela and Ozzie Jr.
By the way,
you go to sleep.
Well, it happened. The CEO. By the way, I would have enjoyed it. I've run 7 fantasy baseball teams, and I run a men's baseball league team that I put money in. You don't think I want to be a general manager?
Do you have any surprise?
No. The story that I want to talk about is: would you trade? So if I was a general manager, and my son also is on my team, and I have to make I make a move for him. I said, my team's better without you, and I trade him. Al Avila's story with his son. How do you do with that? Would you trade your kid?
Yes, I think that you have to. People have to. It's hard to believe, but you have to take the sentimental part about it. This is a business, and if you really think that your son is going to get you somebody else that you think is better, then I don't have feelings.
In baseball, it's a fact. You're thinking with your brains.
You wouldn't trade also. You would say no.
I will quit in big way also. You think with your brains. That happened with the White Sox, Jamai Dow situation facing
on the Yankees.
No, Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh no, but that's different. We're talking. I'm talking about your brains, though. But we're talking. You're going to confuse the fans. We're talking about trades. We're talking about trades. Pure 100% trades. Would I make the move?
I would trade my mom, my wife, anybody if I thought that my team could be better.
No, at least you're being honest. And again, I think that for Avila, he's a professional. It's not like this guy just went down and made a move. And his son knows the game. His son's like, hey, it's not like I traded you to, like in the movie Mr. Baseball. Where did I go? Yeah. You went to Japan. We just traded you for money in Japan. Again,
I got some sneaky picks for this week.
So this week is going to be interesting, guys, because teams are going to new players are coming in to new teams. Money lines are changing. Please stay tuned and see who's coming back, because now you're going to see teams get rolled, teams' offenses get better. This is the time of the year where money lines and player props kind of change it up. So I'm going to start off with Oney's picks. Oney, what do you got for the Guillén Guarantee?
It's a really big series, Tampa versus Boston. I'm going to take Boston because they're probably going to be – they're not going to be favored. So they're away in Tampa. I'm going to take Boston, and I'm also going to take – I've been playing the Tigers a lot, and they have the Orioles. I'm going to take the Tigers, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the team that I've been really keeping an eye on. I've been watching a lot of Atlanta Braves because my cousin's in town, so I'm watching a lot of the games. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers, and I want to see Milwaukee with Escobar in the lineup. But do not sleep on Atlanta. They're playing better. They made the Jock Peterson trade and those other trades. Those guys are working out for them. And I'm going to take Atlanta as well because they're going to be underdogs against the Milwaukee Brewers. So those are my 3 picks. I'm doing a lot of underdogs. Keep your eye on the Braves. They're only 4 games out. They're playing a little bit better than people think.
The Guillén Guaranteed is in. Have a great week. And again, if a trade is made, do not feel like the world is going to end. Your team is either rebuilding or trying to win a World Series.
Would you trade your dog in for $1 million?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll see you guys soon.
What?
They offered you $1 million.